Hello, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I liked Amaan's song. Amaan's song was very original. I was sitting back when Amaan was singing his song, his original song, and I thought to myself, what a mid song that was. No, hold on. Come on, you're not all fans of Amaan. How are you? Amaan is such a good fellow. Don't say anything about Amaan. Bro, come on, man. I was thinking about what Amaan's lyrics were. Amaan's lyrics basically said he saw a girl and he fell in love with her. But that's what every boy goes through. I mean, you immediately see a girl and you immediately plan your entire life with that girl. You immediately start, you see the girl, okay, I'm going to take her to KFC on the first date. Then after that, marry her. I won't ask the parents. I'm just going to elope. I'm not going to do anything. And then all of a sudden, we have babies. What? That's just how a normal boy's mind works. And then the third line said basically, I saw her eyes and I fell in love with her. True. But usually, we look at a girl's heart, not the eyes. Heart. I honestly didn't know this was a competition. I honestly thought talent show, okay, I'm gonna really do something. But then all of a sudden yesterday, Mr. Ghazali came and told me, Ado bro, salli hambena. I said, salli? Kinda need that these days. And then the optimist in me thought, okay, I'm getting money. So I need to prepare, I need to write jokes and hopefully make them laugh. If they don't laugh, I need to take my shirt off. And then hopefully they will laugh. And then after that, you want me to take my shirt off? No. Not yet. So basically, Ghazali came and told me, Ado bro, it's for you get a prize. So I said, okay, fine. The optimist in me thought, okay, fine, let's do it. I need to write everything down. But the Tamil in me thought, the last time us Tamils competed for something, it took us 30 years and we still lost. Where my courtiers at? But see, for every Tamil person in the crowd, we've gone through life in such a weird way. Especially people my age. The people in my age, the 40-year-olds. Any 40-year-olds? Because when we went to school, we heard so much of bad stuff against, when the war was going on. Ado tamase kotiyebba. Ado tamase LTT neba. Ado umba modebba. That was not related to Tamil people, that was in general. But see, the problem is we try to take so many things from American society. Why can't we make something of our own? The N-word, Anna. That's from America. Can we say it? Yes, we totally can. There's a lot of similarities between the Tamils and those who were enslaved. We were all taken for granted, not paid, and we were just persecuted. So I think us Tamils should make our own N-word. And all the Sinhalese people cannot say it at all. You say it, case. So I think the next time you see a Tamil person and you think a Tamil person comes in front, another Tamil person comes, Ado, na bro, na vela enna bro, na. And then immediately, without a doubt, you should just go, what's up, ma Tigga, what's happening? I think we should be allowed to say that. Because we've taken a lot from American societies. So, as you may have realized, I have a drinking problem. I don't, I'm just kidding. But I used to work, and then I went for a party. So this party was an immense party. It had a lot of people in it. It was the epitome of diversity. It had everyone from every community, from every letter in the alphabet. The L's, the G's, the B's, the T's, the Q's, the A's, the pluses. Everyone was in it. There were people from every place. From the lowest weight to the unspeakable weight. It was everyone. And then I realized something. I realized that I am at a party, which means there are other A-listers in the party. There were ministers in the party. Should I name ministers? Should I name them? Okay. Oh, it definitely wasn't mine, bro. He's dying, bro. Come on. You think he can get up and walk and go to a party and rock on? Maybe he could. I don't know. But there was one minister, or by the name of, I can't name this minister, but his name sounds like, let's put it out there. I didn't say it, you all are saying it, I'm not saying it. Bro, I don't want to die tomorrow. I see a white van coming towards me, I don't want PTSD in my life, come on. I already failed 2 exams, my God. So then after that, obviously I got drunk, and then there was this mother who was there in the crowd. And I thought, okay, fine, regular mother drinking, she has her own problems, obviously. Colombo mothers always have a lot of problems. And then she had brought a kid. And the kid, I kid you not, the kid was dressed as Michael Jackson. Now that is very ironic. I will tell you why. A kid dressing up as Michael Jackson is like a Catholic kid dressing up as a priest. Or to put it in layman's terms, it's like a zebra, but it has put on this mask of a cheetah. Okay? It was very ironic. I will tell you why this makes sense. Because some of you don't know what's happening outside of Colombo. I will tell you why that is ironic. And then, I will tell you why. Because Michael Jackson, allegedly, looked at kids' buttholes. I shit you not. Yeah. Michael Jackson looked at kids' buttholes the way I look at solar eclipses. Michael Jackson basically looked like this and looked at the butthole and said, hee hee. Sammauna. Ooh. That's what he did basically. He touched kids. And then this, okay, let's call her, see, we have taken Karen already. So let's establish a Sri Lankan Karen. Let's establish a Sri Lankan Karen. So anytime you see a Sri Lankan Karen, call her Kumari. Kumari. That's all you have to do. Oh, why is there so much of noise coming out of your room? Kumari Anne. Kumari Anne. Basically, that's all you have to do. So this Kumari came next to me, and when a kid is dancing, everyone has the urge to take a video of this kid. Or is it only me? Am I the only one who's videoing kids? Anyway. I was videoing this kid, and then this Kumari came towards me and she asked the most off-the-cuff question. She came to me and asked, "What are you doing here?" I said, "My CEO said there's free booze, I came." "Ah, really? But aren't you more of a lower income place? Aren't you too poddak palleha patta neveda?" So, what the hell? Lady, your kid is dressed as Michael Jackson. I think I should be eligible to drink to that. And then she started, yanking my chain. And then I just realized, to hell with this Kumari. So what I did was, I took my phone out. I opened Instagram. I opened my Instagram stories. And then I videoed this kid in the dance floor. And you see Kumari going and telling the DJ, pull on the smooth criminal done. And then the DJ plays smooth criminal. And then this boy has the audacity to dance to it. So immediately, with my anger problems, what I did was, I recorded this. I recorded this kid dressed as Michael Jackson dance to Michael Jackson. And what I put on my story, in my caption was, this kid was the only person to be touched by Michael Jackson. Cancel him. That's all I said. Any of you take the train? Any train goers? Wow, you're like the real rich kids now. Take a train once in a while. God. I took the train, and then I saw this, I sat next to a lady, and then after that she was having trouble opening the window. So then I thought, okay, I must help her. And then possibly get her number. But no, I must first help her. I opened this, and then immediately she snapped. How dare you open this window to me? Do you think women can't open windows? I said, I immediately just went, "Row, row." And then after that, I realized she had different colors of nail paint on her. And she was wearing blue hair. So this immediately went to feminist. Okay, problem. Big problem. Okay, I said, okay, fine, okay, I'm sorry. I sat down. And then later on, we were getting down. I was getting down in Fort. And then after that, she had a relatively huge case. I helped her take it because she was actually struggling to carry this huge briefcase. So I helped her. So let me just help you. And I took it and I put it down. And then immediately, again, she just went, why can't women carry briefcases? Why do you think we are that weak? I said, it looked like you were weak. I was just trying to help you. And then she was just being mean to me. So I said, okay, whatever, I'm just getting down on Fort. And I walked off. I walked off in front, I got down. And then as she was taking the briefcase out, she hit one of the person's foot on it. Just went, Daruk. And then this guy got triggered. Now this guy, let me just visualize him for you. He has not heard what a feminist was. He has never known that women can do things independently. That's the type of background he's from. So immediately this dude just went off on this feminist. She's like, oh, what? And it's like blasting this blue-haired lady. And then all of a sudden, she just went, can you please help me? Can you please? I said, you're a feminist, deal with it. And then, don't sue me. She deserved that, come on. Anyway, you remember how our school days were? School days were amazing. School days were amazing for a few reasons. Remember, you used to get those nice-smelling erasers? The orange-flavored erasers? Remember, that eraser would be passed along the whole classroom. Everyone just going, Ado, orange ne bang? Ne bang, pineapple. It was at that point, we didn't know that would teach us what a coke addiction was. Everyone just going, Ado, coke ne bang? Ado, yes. And do you remember do you remember those Transformers pencil cases? The ones which, the latches come out all of a sudden and then erasers coming out, sharpness coming out. And then we used to just, playfully go, that was basically what we did. But we never knew that would bring out school shooters. We never knew. And yeah, man, school was a very odd time for all of us. Because on the last day of school, two things would happen to two different financial people's status. One is the middle income earner and the high income earner. Middle income earner, what would happen is, at the end of the day, everyone just, going crazy. Last day of school. Api onna sellan kale. Then nimadu kale hinda ne iskole. Oh, what a brilliant time that was. And then at the end of the day, you see people going to the washroom and coming back. Going to the washroom. Sometimes it's two boys going in and coming out. Sometimes it's a teacher and a boy coming in and going out. Anyway, so that was middle income schools. Then after that, all of a sudden, I don't know about all girls schools, but all boys schools, what would happen was, we would have a plastic water bottle with us. And we thought, I tell you now, all boys schools are just stupid in general. We are stupid. No, we are stupid. Listen to me. Why? I'll tell you why. You had a water bottle and you immediately thought, tap rugby. Tap rugby. That's all you have to do. I see a water bottle, tap rugby. Sellotape papers, tap rugby. That's all we had to do. Lunch break comes, we are asleep. Last 2 periods, we don't learn anything. And then we'd play tap rugby, go home, and then your mom is there and you just throw the bag. Throw the bag. And then your mom sees this. Bag එක ගන්න නැද්ද? අනේ නෑ අම්මේ. අන්තිම දවසනේ. And then she'd also fake smile at you and say, අනේ ඕනේ last day නේ. This little man doesn't know what's coming to you. And then just grab the slipper and like that. And then we'd have 4 channels. And out of which, from 3 to 5 was Sirasa TV. Sirasa TV was one of the best entertainments for a school kid. 3 to 5, you'd get amazing, but very badly dubbed English TV shows. In the beginning, you get pa 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 pa, and then boom, Sur Papa Jim Papa, done. 30 minutes of your life gone. And then after that, all of a sudden, towards the end, you get, all of a sudden, a blue color hedgehog comes. Sonic, Suragaya pe, Sonic, Lova Calabu Vegayai. And then just Sonic, yeah! That was amazing. That was peak childhood for us. Now, the high income earners. High income earners have a different lifestyle. You come to the end of your school life and there's nothing. Okay, bro, see you later, brother. And then going home, and then you see going to the toilet, boy and a boy comes. Boy and a girl goes and comes. Girl and a girl goes and comes. And then girl and a teacher goes and comes. Teacher and a teacher goes and comes. Problems. And then, all of a sudden, your driver comes now. Baba, the iskole kohumada? And then the driver takes you home. And then as you come home, there's an auntie waiting for you. And then boom, you give the bag. And then you don't even have a wash. You just change, sit in front of the TV. And you have tons of channels. From Jetix, Disney XD, Disney Nickelodeon. And then what do you all watch? Phineas and Ferb. That's all you all watch. Kick Buttowski. That's all you all watch. Would I choose that? No. Because your high income earning lives suck. I think a lot about dying breeds. There's a lot of dying breeds in the world. There's a lot of dying breeds in the world. Let me just list out a few dying breeds. 1, the straight man, dying. Dying breed. I see a lot of Andrew Tate people there. Okay. That's fine. Never back down, never what? Never give up. And then, the second dying breed is the English vocabulary. The English vocabulary is a dying breed. I will tell you why. I was trying to have a conversation with this person, and for every question I posed, all this person said was bet. No cap. Do I like your drip today, bro? What does that mean? No, what does that mean? What are you betting on? What is the drip coming from? From the rain? From the ceiling? Where is this drip coming from? What happened to going? You look good today. Yes, sure, let's go ahead. Crazy people, bro. Thank God Sinhala has not caught on to this fake English vocabulary. Imagine just going to the morning and just going, Ado, bro, more way. More key. Class. Ado. Yeah. That's it. That's the singular vocabulary. The last dying breed are vegans. I have a big problem with vegans. Not a big problem. You're a dying breed because you don't eat meat. Eat meat and you won't die quickly. Simple facts, bro. But vegans, I get it. You want to save animals? I want to save animals. Because after this vegan sent me a video, my whole algorithm changed. My whole algorithm changed to just people saving animals. There was a farm there was a buffalo. And buffaloes have this rare disease where they get a sack in their chin. And someone has to physically slice the chin so that white juice comes out of it. Listen, if white juice is coming from your chin, you have a huge problem. It's coming from the wrong place. Anyway, I'm coming to the end of my segment. I'm getting to that. So see, life happened and I had a crush. As all boys, I had a crush. And and coincidentally, this crush was in my sister's school. So was I dating my sister? No. I was from an all-boys school and we have sister schools all around. So there's a sister school in Colombo and my crush was there. So now one day, we were doing this charity event. And the video was 2 girls running. How did the video come to life? Us. Hormonal teenagers said we need to film girls running. And we did it. We basically did it. We told 2 girls to come. And then after that, we got them to run. But then this happened near Independence Square. Independence Square is close to where the St. Joseph's first 15 trains. But this was back in 2019. This was when The Boys, the TV show, was at peak. So, I saw the St. Joseph's first 15 coming. And the 2 girls got scared all of a sudden. I asked, why are you scared? Then after that, she said, oh, no, don't go to interfere with them. It's St. Joseph's. I said, St. Joseph's? What? Their first 15 team sucks, bro. What the hell? Bro, you all lost to a school in Katugostora. Okay? Don't come here with your yay. Do you have, oh no, I'm sorry, St. Joseph, do you have a rugby team called the Undefeated Team? I don't think so. Isn't that Trinity first 15 team? Oh. Anyway, so then she said, don't mess with the first 15 St. Joseph rugby team. My crush said this to me. Now, when your crush says something like that, immediately inside you, your testosterone starts rising. You have to defend. No, hold on. Nothing like that, bro. You have to defend your manly honor. You have to stand up for your crush. You have to say, no, don't say anything to my crush. So immediately, what came to my mind was The Boys. And then what Homelander would have done. Except, I don't have a murderous rage in me. The only thing I had was my body. So what I thought was, I'm going to flash the St. Joseph's first 15 team and tell them to bugger off from my crush. So what I essentially did was, no, wait, hold on. What? Come on, bro. And then what I essentially did was, I called the St. Joseph's first 15 rugby team. I said, hey, yo, rugby Tiggers. And they looked at me, huh? Me tadiya mokadda me? I was like, Ashley, look at me. I just shouted, ah! But they didn't care. They didn't care. St. Joseph's first 15 didn't care. They laughed at me like you all are laughing at me right now. They didn't care. They call me things I can't tell you today, ladies and gentlemen. So what I did was, I stood my ground, ladies and gentlemen. I stood my ground and I belted with the voice in me. I said, Ashley, look at me. Ladies and gentlemen, mostly ladies. Mostly ladies, I tell you now, you have boyfriends with six packs, you're gonna end up with a person like me, ladies and gentlemen. Ditch your six-pack boyfriends and come with me. All right. I am at the end of my rope, ladies and gentlemen. The AC is so cold. The AC is so cold, ladies and gentlemen. My Leaning Tower of Pisa is officially the Eiffel Tower. Also, tag me on all the Instagram stories you've taken now. Real Nathan John, Instagram. Thank you. You've been amazing.
What you wanna do? What you wanna do? My father, Tobacco, strong.